welcome to the Patricia Joe Grover Show, where we turn believers into achievers. And today, my guest is Rich Bontrager. Well, let me tell you about Rich. He's a broadcaster, a keynote speaker, a presentation coach. Rich Trigger Bontrager. He is and should be, well, he should be dead at least 3 times by now. And yet, he has defied the odds medically since birth. He had a severe accident having to do with fire. He had liver failure and a transplant in 2017. Trigger, as he's known, has enjoyed a 30-year career in the sports and broadcasting industry. He's a talk show host and now a keynote speaker, despite being born with a terrible stutter. He is, with his expertise, Rich now coaches and equips executives, leaders, speakers, and organizations on how to rock the stage. With his coaching programs, Rich coaches and equips leaders on how to effectively share their message via the virtual stage powerfully and entertainingly. So he's a great guest for me to have because I'm learning what I'm doing right now. So glad to have you with me, Rich.
Great to be on, Patty. I'm really looking forward to this, and great job, by the way. Cool backdrop.
Thank you. I like to have it so that people, would want to grab a cup of coffee and sit down and chat with me.
That's the best way to do this virtually. Is virtual cup of coffee is the best way to do it. Just make it like we're sitting in the living room, have a good time, and forget that there's a miles or a camera lens between us.
Yeah, and it is. You're kind of inviting people into your life and vice versa. So it's fabulous. So
welcome to our casual day today on the show.
Hey, I'm loving it. You're rocking Hawaiian style, and it's Friday, so Awesome. Well, geez, I feel so blessed to have you here with me. So I'm gonna ask you all kinds of questions because I want to learn some stuff from you. So
go for it.
Okay, what are several key mistakes that people make when they are trying to do a webinar or a virtual presentation?
Oh, there are so many right now. How much time do we have again?
Hey, whatever it takes. I need to learn stuff. So, and a lot of my viewers, because I have a lot of viewers, are my friends that are also, they're also coaches, speakers, and we're all out new to this. So.
Well, and you are the people that I'm working with and coaching. That's exactly where I want to put all my broadcasting. So I'm leveraging 30 years of broadcasting to help you rock the stage better.
All right.
But to your question, one of the worst things is, at least in my mind, as a stage presenter, I've been on stages all my life, is doing what I'm doing. I'm rarely sitting for an interview or talk show or presentation. Stand up, use your full body to present like you would, because 70% of what we say is body language.
That's true. That's true.
You communicate with your eyes, your hands, your waist. Everything moves with you as you communicate. Yeah. So to be in a chair, you have to go extra big and perform differently than you stand up. I have done this on so many shows where I've had someone stand up and they begin to talk and they're like, wow. So
a difference.
Up.
Yeah. Okay.
Bring it like a real show. Also, we've all been on webinars, and I'm going to do this right now, but your camera's down here like this and your head's floating on the bottom of it. You need to be like waist, chest, have body, not the floating head.
Right.
That doesn't work at all. The other one is where your camera is literally looking up your chin and you see the roof more than you see their face.
Right.
You want your eyes to be here. You want to be looking at the camera. The camera, one of the best phrases I can tell you is have a love affair with your camera. That is your best friend. That is your husband, your wife, your pal for life. And you want to talk and really love that camera like you're really having that virtual cup of coffee. So make sure it's eye level to make it very personal.
Right.
And then right now, because of virtual green screens, which I love green screens, you and I were talking about that before we went on. Make sure you are wearing the right color clothes, because if your green screen is green or blue, do not wear blue. If you're using a blue screen, you will disappear and be the invisible man or woman, and you will have the talking head.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, awesome.
And that's where Hollywood has done that trick for years, and now we get to do it at home. But I've had a lot of shows where people disappear halfway because their color scheme is just close enough and then half their body literally dissolves. So practice off air to make your production look better by knowing how to do that. Those are just some real easy ones right there for you.
What I had to do is for the camera, I had to put a little sticky note of a smiley face there to remember to look at that, because I have a tendency, because when I'm talking to somebody, I want to look them in the face. And so I try to look at you on the screen, and sometimes I catch myself, oh, look at the, because again, just
No, that is a great tip, and I've done that for years. When I first started transitioning from radio to the camera side, I put a picture of my family, and I would talk to them. So, and actually in the radio booth, that's a great way to start off as well. So if you're doing an audio podcast without a video, put a picture in front of your microphone, even on the audio side, and you have a live audience. It's the imagination, but you have to use it.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome. So great tips. So isn't it really expensive if you want to create a virtual stage or studio?
No, it does not have to be. Most people have a laptop, an iPad or a tablet. They have a phone. You can now, Zoom is on all platforms. Google is on all platforms. Most of them you get an app, and you can do it that way. So we're already paying our phone bills and our utility bills.
True.
So most of us have the technology there. Now, there are also other things. Like I just invested in new lights this week. I had a ring light, which are not that expensive. You can Amazon most of the stuff.
Right.
I have built a home studio for under $200. That adding, but my initial investment was my laptop had the built-in camera. It was HD, but I now have a different camera. But I did get a portable table that elevates so I can stand or sit with the same platform, and it has an air conditioner. So it's got the fan to keep it cool. The green backdrop. You don't have to buy a professional backdrop. Here's my secret. Don't tell anybody, Patty.
Okay. Okay.
Go to Walmart and buy green material and thumbtack it to your wall.
Fantastic. Great tip.
So there's a lot of stuff like that you can do to get around. You can talk to your open microphone. You can get your earbuds, have the microphone. That's a better quality right there as well. Or eventually get a studio microphone, but you don't have to go thousands of. So some people are diving off the deep end so fast, and then they're not ready to do it. Start small, grow big, and move it along as you feel comfortable.
Yeah, and awesome. And I have to share this because it's something that somebody else might do. But I had a necklace on. It was like a big chunky necklace, and this microphone was hitting on it, and I didn't hear it during a record, but when it played back, you heard the clunkety clunk clunk. And hey, learn by experience, right?
Learn by experience. And here's another one: being in the broadcast communication, contact a local broadcaster that you know and ask them, what have you learned about being on camera?
Okay.
They will be a gold mine, because watch the news. The ladies are not wearing big stuff. They're not even wearing big dangling earrings. They got their earbuds in.
Right.
So there's a lot of things like that we don't realize, because they still look really great, but they're doing things to do exactly what you just said, Patty.
Right. And again, it's all trial and error, and you just get better the more you do it, more comfortable.
Exactly.
Right. So another question. So how do you see the virtual stage impacting the speaking community after this pandemic, COVID-19, after everything's lifted?
The virtual stage is never going away.
Right.
So it's here to stay. So to me as a speaker, it used to be the platform was the only place. So if I'm trying to get on a big stage platform with CEOs, high executive, John Maxwell, whoever it is, I'm not going to get that stage. But I might now get a virtual component of that stage. They will still have the A-listers, but they're going to have breakout sessions. They might beam you in, and you might be able to do that. You might be there for the rest of the conference.
Right.
But you might videotape in advance your session. They can beam it up there, and then you're there in the crowd to still participate. There's so many ways to do this now. Plus, the virtual stage will come to small hotels that have never been able to have an event before. They will be able to bring you in, put 200 people into a room instead of 3,000, and they can finally have good quality teaching content in smaller communities that they've never had before. So you need to think about, yes, the live stage is fun with a live crowd, but there are going to be more stages now because the virtual stage can take you around the world and you never have to leave. There's no hotels, there's no bad food,
Exactly.
there's no TSA, there's all these things that are now going to change the game forever.
Exactly, and allow for us to be able to be more places in a shorter period of time. East, international, coast to coast, the whole thing, because not having that travel time involved. So for you, you were just on before me. You just jumped from one Zoom call to another and to that, so you're all over the place. And that's what we're doing.
I was in India one day, Germany in the afternoon, and Canada at night. My passport is getting stamped all the time, and I'm meeting great people.
Exactly.
And I don't have to leave my home studio.
Exactly. And loving it. Yeah. And that's the thing. And you can, and what I do, and you're coming from a place of service. You're trying to make things better for other people. And when you are doing that, I mean, that's so rewarding in and of itself, but when you can do it from the comfort of your own home and not have to live out of a suitcase and travel, even better.
Now, there is a setback. You don't have the live crowd. So part
Right.
of what you have to do is, in the Zoom virtual world, you have to create and have a great imagination. I've been blessed with a really whacked out imagination. There's always a crowd in front of me.
Right.
You just don't see them.
Right.
So you have to learn how to talk to that camera
Right.
and play to the camera like that. And that's where presentation skills come in, which is what I coach. The more you make this a real engaging thing, the better it is to go out globally. Now, I would love the live stage. I would love the live laugh. There's a way to do that with Zoom calls, with group calls. There's a way to have that engagement that I coach. But for the most part, you are taking this into a real engaging experience, but you have to bring your energy for every online performance. So it's a different skill set. But once you learn that, you're going to have a lot of doors open up.
Fantastic. Well, hey, I'm trying to soak it all in. So I have all kinds of more questions for you.
Bring them on.
All right. So, why do you believe that the virtual stage is an ever-expanding platform with limitless potential to impact the whole world? We kind of touched on that, but let's elaborate a little more.
No, great question, Patty, because again, right now we are using the technology we currently have in place. So COVID hit and everyone said, oh my goodness, I can't have my office meeting. I can't meet with my cubicle partner. I can't go for coffee with my best friend. So everyone dove on whatever platform. And everyone's like, again, those bad camera angles, all these things. Now we're realizing my laundry in my back is now what people want to see in an executive business meeting.
Yes,
my kid running through the camera frame,
Yeah.
My sister hit me is not cutting anymore.
Right.
So that's expanding the stage now to say we need to create environments, as I call them, to do this better. Whether it's the green screen or whether it's a physical set that you make. People are turning their home offices into half production, half office. It's ever expanding because now we're finding new ways to do interaction. It's not just a monologue, it's an engaging conversation. You have group breakouts that you can do a whole setup piece. Say, now everyone go for 15 minutes, drop into a group, discuss what we talked about, and then you come back to the room and then you say, okay, team captain, what did your room learn? What did you learn? You have now turned it into an interactive environment. Talk a little bit more, send them back out, reshuffle the deck and go do it again. That's an expanding environment. That's something that we've never thought would happen. And here's one more for you. During COVID, the major shutdown, no concerts, no movies, no nothing. What happened was entertainers realized they love to entertain. So people thought it would be lifeless and not a personal thing with this camera, Patty. Right. So I love the music of Styx in Kansas and Boston and many different artists out there.
Yep, me too.
You can relate to my music,
I can
right?
relate, yes.
So Tommy Shaw from Styx brings you into his home via the camera and does Blue Collar Band singing to his cat with his wife there.
Gotta love it.
In his pajamas.
Gotta love it.
We would never get access into Tommy's house or other actors' house. Patrick Stewart's been doing sonnets on his back porch because he can't go do anything right now.
Right. But they have that But they have that craving urge to do it, and they want to share it with people.
So he's literally taking you into his home and reading you a sonnet, entertainment, education, class, the British accent. in his home. You would never be invited
Right.
into these places, environments. We found a new intimacy that was not expected to be there, that is now expanding into what can we do next to make this more intimate and more engaging. The technology will go up. Technology has to be your friend. Don't be afraid of it.
Exactly.
But it's the relationship, personal side that will also expand and go deeper. We're going to find more ways to be more personal through a camera lens.
Right, right. And actually, I have something I'll share with you in just a bit. So let me do it now because while it's on the top of my mind, I'm getting older. Sometimes I forget about things. But I am involved with a company, DBI, Digital Business International, and we are. They have it all set up, but I have been working with them for the past few months, and we are doing virtual in VR expos, and I'm speaking from stage internationally and having a booth at this event, and people can come to the event. They can click on the stuff at my booth, so they can click and it goes right to where they can purchase my book. They can click on this and they can go right to my YouTube channel and watch a video. And I'm speaking on stage in an avatar form internationally, just like we're doing here. So the people that are the avatars sitting in the crowd are all those people sitting in those chairs are people sitting in front of their computers right now, just like you and I watching me talk. So I'm going to share, after we're done, I'll share all kinds of information with you about that, because it's just another tool that we can use to promote and grow our business.
And that's where the creative juices are going to get flowing. People who are creators. I'm a creative person. I love Disney and the whole vision and making stuff out of nothing. There are people right now like me that are just like, oh, we can do so much with this.
Yeah.
And I know of another platform very similar. And it's like you're looking from the ceiling down onto the conference floor.
And that's Manny Lopez, right? That's Manny Lopez. That's Manny Lopez's, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you can have a keynote speaker, just so people understand this. You can have a keynote speaker speak for a while. You can be watching the keynote speaker. But if you see Patty at a different table and you know Patty, you can chime Patty and say, let's go find an open table. You can jump out of that conference, jump to a private table, and go virtually talk to each other while you're at the conference. Right. Or if you want to go shopping together, you can go down to Patty's booth together. They are really making this a very interactive platform. And they're one of the first geniuses I know that have turned a convention hall into a virtual convention hall.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. So, and what Manny does, we've just taken it to the next level where you're actually avatars and you can stand face to face and have a conversation and go sit in a lounge area and sit in your avatar form again. So it makes it just that much more connected, and it makes
I want an avatar.
Right.
I want one.
I've got you covered. Rich, I got you covered. You'll be all over this, man. I know you will. So awesome. So so I had to put that in there while I was thinking of it, and I'll show you after. But it is. We need to think outside the box, and that's what I teach people, is to live outside the box. But you need to think outside the box, because the world is your oyster right now. With all this, people have just, the woe is me. They've got to stop that thinking and think of, the choices and decisions that we make design our destiny. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. So, and why not plan for a fantastic rest of your life, from this point on?
Actually, there is no box.
That's what, right. That's what you said. Nice. But the thing is, and I agree with that. I totally agree with you, Rich. The thing is, 92% of the other people in the population are stuck there, and I want to get them unstuck.
Well, this is what me and my fiance decided. So when COVID hit, we were going to pivot her business and bring it home anyways. That was our emotion. We were literally building out her home studios that she's using. Construction went down, everything shut down. Right. We had to figure that whole thing out. It was very depressing. Think, we've already opted out of that. We're not going back to the real office, but we still have a lease on the office. I mean, all the business decision, right?
Right.
We finally had someone come in, do as much as they could. COVID lockdown got worse. We finished the final details. We actually did the project. Now, the plan was, the conversation was this is your mental change. We made a decision that we were going to present and prepare now everything at the highest level. No clients coming in.
Right.
nothing happening, so that when things ease, we were already moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
and we had momentum that would carry us into the new whatever it was. I did the same thing with my virtual career, with my broadcasting, with my public speaking. I said, I'm going to use this world pause, the
Right.
cancel culture, as it's now being called, the cancel culture. Everything's been canceled.
Right.
I'm going to use this and say, I'm already going to be here. So when we're ready to go, I'm already 10 steps ahead of everybody else. That's what I encourage people to do as well. Figure out how you can use this to your advantage. Don't play down to it, play into it.
Exactly. Exactly. Bravo. And again, more people just need to take that first step and move forward. And don't let this keep dragging you down, because you can't focus on that. You got to focus on your future, because that's what you have ahead of you, right?
And just one more tip on that, because of what's happening now. My fiance is getting clients, not at the rate she had before because of regulations.
Right, right.
However, we've already doubled from when we opened and said, come back. We've already doubled in clients. It's not what it was. So you cannot expect to have it be. You have to let go of that.
Right.
But you have to celebrate the wins and the moves of, this is doubled already in 1 month from what it was. That's what you celebrate, and that's where you keep moving the line. So it is a whole different mind wrap, but you always have to be looking forward, not in the rear view mirror anymore.
That's right. I agree so much. You can't believe how much I really totally agree. And it's in the book. I talk about not looking in the rearview mirror. Look out your windshield, because that's most important. Awesome. So how helpful is the 30 years of being a professional broadcaster, and having that experience and knowledge? How has that helped you, Coach, to be able to understand and work with the virtual stages?
Everyone's a broadcaster now. Teachers are having to learn how to do this virtually right now for school. They are now broadcasters. There are broadcasting techniques. Your voice is now your livelihood. You need to protect your voice.
Never thought of it that way.
I don't drink a lot of caffeine, because caffeine constricts your vocal cord. I used to slam Mountain Dew. And finally, a professional broadcaster, I was doing a bunch of basketball games, sitting next to the guy at courtside, and he leaned over during a commercial break and said, kid, you're going to kill yourself because you will not have a career. And he told me about this. And during games, I switched to water or Gatorade that didn't have the caffeine, because literally I was constricting this and working harder to project while I'm in the middle of an exciting game.
No idea. I had no idea of. Oh my goodness. Wow.
So you learn things that you have to learn how to use it. So I do storytelling. I use action. I use excitement and passion. I'm not screaming. People scream. You don't have to scream, but you can do passion with your voice. So my radio days have helped me immensely to come to this virtual stage. The presence of being on stage has helped me because of body language and mannerisms. And right now, people are trying to go big expression in a very small box, but they're also thinking, this is so small, I can't go big anymore.
Oh. Yeah.
In fact, you have to figure out how to do different mannerisms. I'm a hand gesture guy.
Me too.
If I talk with my hands, it's all gibberish coming out. So you have to figure out how to communicate, but that's playing to the camera. That's experimenting. You don't want to go all the way into the camera frame. It looks like I'm going to smack you. But you have to figure out those depth perceptions. You have to figure out how to gesture in a way that looks exciting without going way off frame.
Right.
Standing up. All these are broadcasting techniques that you now figure out how to use. And I'm leveraging all that to help people to do it better.
Fantastic. And again, all those years of experience, all bundled into, it's amazing. It's amazing. Awesome. Well, I am so glad that I pegged you down and I got you on the show. Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you for being with me.
No, it's an honor. And again, I love doing this because my heart of service wants people to succeed. And since so many people are trying to do what you're doing and they're all trying to figure out how to do this better, I would love to help people succeed. And any way I can serve people, help people, that's what my new life is about.
Awesome. So Rich, now that we're talking about that, do you have any special gifts for our viewers and listeners?
Actually, I have a 30-minute free consultation. We get on a Zoom call like this, and you tell me your needs, your struggles, what are the things that are best in need of, whether it's technology, presentation, branding, marketing, that it all plays together now virtually. It's all one big blur. Um, I would love to hear from you. And then I also have services, but the first is just a free 30 minutes. And how can I move that line for you, give you 2 or 3 points, say, start here. I'm here to help you long term, but if I can help you in 30 minutes or less, that'd be my first best offer to give everybody.
Fantastic. And so do they go to your website for that? Can you tell them where to go?
Well, yeah, you can go to richbontrager.net. You can find me on LinkedIn as well. Very easy to find me. By the way, Rich Trigger Bontrager, just drop it into a Google search. I'm not hiding. But if you send rich@richbontrager.net, that comes directly to me. That is a true access. It's not a secretary or admin. We can hook up on a Zoom call very easily, and I will help you get things rocking at a better level for you.
Oh, thank you, Rich. Thank you. And for me, everyone, I'm Patricia Jo Grover, the Goal Achievement Strategist. PatriciaJoGrover.com is where you'll find me. And I have a little video at the end for you that has my special gifts for you. All right. Well, thanks for being with me, Rich. And thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thank you much.